We're starting a new series where I tell you how fucking awful the Frozen debuff is until they get rid of it. And really, I don't care if they revert the change, if they take it out of the capture zone rotation entirely. It's merely the fact that this buff to Frozen even happened that further solidifies what I've been screaming to you guys. This game wasn't made by or for griefers. Because we're not really talking about the Frozen buff, are we? It's more so the fact that these kinds of things are considered good changes that shows they aren't grasping grief. Stuff like this never even leaves the idea board if you have an understanding of the mindset of a grief player. Stuff like this turns grief into Mario Kart. What we have now is a roulette wheel similar to the Mario Kart power-up box, where if you're out in first place, you just gotta hope the other team doesn't get a blue shell and end your game by pure random luck. This is why capture zones do not belong in grief, because wins and losses are dictated by the RNG of what Mario Kart power-up you get. No grief player alive wants RNG dictating the victor. The only thing we want to know is if my grief ability is better than your grief ability. It's a competitive PvP mode, not a party game. But that is a shrinking part of the experience when it should be the entire experience, or the core of the experience, as Treyarch said themselves. Well, put your money where your mouth is. Don't say stuff like that, then buff capture zones, which goes directly against your own words. Treyarch says they play Grief too. I want to list the gamer tags. I'm not going to dox anyone. I just want to see what they're doing in-game, because what's their strategy to being Frozen fucking solid? Do they do any griefing or just try and outlast people while killing zombies, missing the whole point of grief in the first place? I'd like to know their playstyle, because capture zones even existing, let alone getting buffed, is crazy, and the fact that it even made it into the game shows a disconnect from developer and player. I have a theory that the reason the health regen break got removed is because someone at Treyarch played around a grief against a griefer that was all over them from the beginning. They lost in like 3 minutes and said, fuck this shit. I'm going back to the office and taking that out of the game right now. It's possible. Capture zones are just so out of place in grief. They grind the entire game to a halt. It's 60 seconds of waiting for the debuff to end so we can finally go back to playing again. It just doesn't mesh with grief. It's a pause on the action. No one wants a pause on the action. How come when Team Deathmatch comes back every year, they don't put a spin on it, spice it up? Because it would be insane. You don't change a classic game mode, and they need to realize thinking that grief needed a spin on it is equally insane. Worse yet, when that spin they put on it just kills the flow and momentum of the game, just brings it all to a standstill and delays the griefing action we actually want to do. If they recognize indirect PvP is the core experience, why implement something that conflicts so heavily with it? We're not being overdramatic, we're just being realistic. Every choice since the first trailer provides no confidence in the players that this is going to get where it needs to be for it to match the original in quality. The vibe I get from Black Ops 6 Grief is it was made for the workers, not the people that play it. We have already exhaustively went over how little it feels like it connects to the spirit of Grief, the out-of-touch marketing, events, gameplay choices, lack of features from the original. The whole package of Black Ops 6 Grief just screams to me the dev team made this for themselves, not for the people that are going to be playing it. And that is a crucial mistake that gets made over and over in video game world. Yes, you can't always listen to the players because their likes and dislikes change on a whim based on if they won or lost their last game. I get that. But we also can't go Vince McMahon style, where his tenure of the WWE was akin to playing with action figures. He didn't give a shit what the people wanted. He did it his way, and you had no choice but to like it because there was no alternative. Let's not go down that road with Grief and turn it into some bizarre RNG capture zone based Mario Kart that the players grow tired of. I keep saying this again and again, Black Ops 6 Grief is very good, it's very fun, but it also doesn't connect enough with the griefers, and that's who's going to be playing it the most. The potential in this shit is off the charts, but we're just not reaching it because of stubborn, out-of-touch choices by the team. And make no mistake, they're just doing their job. I am not one of those weirdos who sends developers death threats. This isn't in any way an attack on the people behind the job, just the job itself. They're working hard. clocking in 9 to 5 like everyone else. Hell, probably more, knowing the crunch of Call of Duty. Full respect to the zombie team, they did an amazing job. My issue lies in the decision making behind Grief not feeling enough like it matches the spirit of what Grief is. It feels like all of us here have to force the Griefer playstyle into the game to make it work, which is just crazy. It should feel totally natural.